Once again, welcome all of you in my class. You know, we walk, run, jump, dance and skip on the earth. But have you ever wondered about what is present inside our earth? The earth is made up of minerals as well as amazing variety of rocks. As a child, I was simply fascinated with rocks and used to collect them from whichever place I used to visit. Let's explore more about the rocks that are present inside our earth as well as know how they are formed. So, let's come to the first topic of this chapter, the interior of the earth. The earth is made up of several concentric layers. Concentric means having a common center. The earth has one layer inside another. Broadly, there are three layers of the earth. They are crust, mantle and core. Let's study about each of them in detail. So, the first one is the crust. It is the outmost layer over the earth's surface. It is the thinnest of the layer. About 35 km on the continental masses and only 5 km on the ocean floors. The main minerals constituting the continental masses are silica and aluminum. The continental mass is also called the name Sial. The name Sial is derived from letters Si of silicon and Al of aluminum. The main mineral constituents of the oceanic crust are silicon and magnesium. The oceanic crust is called sima. The root of the word sima is Si from silica and Ma from magnesium. Second one is mantle. Mantle is the layer just beneath the crust and extends up to a depth of 2900 km below the crust. Third one is core. Core is the innermost layer, which means it is below the mantle. Its radius is about 2500 km. The core consists of outer core and inner core. It is mainly made up of nickel and iron. The innermost layer is also called knife, N-I-F-E, knife. The name knife is derived from the word Ni from nickel and Fe from ferrous, meaning iron. The temperature and pressure of the central core is very high. Okay dear students, let's move on to the next topic of this lesson, that is rocks. The earth's crust is made up of rocks of various types. A rock is a natural piece of mineral matter that makes up the earth's crust. Rocks can be different color, texture and size. Let's study the different types of rocks. The different types of rocks are igneous rocks, sedimentary rocks and metamorphic rocks. What are they? Igneous rocks, sedimentary rocks and third one is metamorphic rocks. Let's study about them, each of them in detail. First one is igneous rocks. The word igneous is derived from the Latin word ignis, which means fire. The rocks formed by the solidification on the cooling of molten magma are called igneous rocks. Depending on where the molten magma cools, they are of two types, namely intrusive and extrusive rocks. First one is intrusive igneous rocks. When the molten magma cools deep inside the earth's crust, intrusive igneous rocks are formed. They cool down slowly and form large grains. Granites is intrusive igneous rocks. Grinding stones used to prepare paste or powder of spices and grains are made of granite. Now, the second one is extrusive igneous rocks. What do you mean by extrusive igneous rocks? Let's study. When the molten magma or lava comes on the earth's surface, it rapidly cools down and becomes solid. Rocks formed in such a manner on the crust are called extrusive igneous rocks. They have a very fine-grained structure. Basalt is an example of extrusive igneous rocks. The Deccan Plateau is made up of basalt rocks. So my dear students, now we are studying about the types of rocks. Rocks are mainly classified into three categories. First one is igneous rocks. Igneous rocks is further classified into two. They are intrusive igneous rocks and extrusive igneous rocks. Second one is sedimentary rocks and third one is metamorphic rocks. So now we are going to study about second classification, sedimentary rocks. Let's study. Sedimentary rocks get their names from the Latin word sedimentum, which means settle down. These rocks are formed by settling down of sediments. Sediments are the smaller particles or fragments that are formed by the breaking down of rocks when they roll down, crack and hit each other. These sediments are transported by wind, water, etc. These sediments when compressed and hardened from sedimentary rocks. Sandstone is an example of sedimentary rock. It is made up of grains of sand. The sedimentary rocks may also contain fossils of plants, animals and other microorganisms that once lived on them. Move on to the final classification of rock, the third one, metamorphic rocks. The Greek word metamorphos, which means change of form, is the root of the word metamorphic. In other words, these are the rocks that are formed when the igneous and sedimentary rocks change their form under great heat and great pressure. The examples of metamorphic rocks are slate and marble. Slate means the clay becomes slate after metamorphics. Then marble. Limestone becomes marble after metamorphosis. So the classification of rocks is over. The rocks is classified into three categories: igneous rocks. Igneous rocks is further classified into two: intrusive and extrusive igneous rocks. The second one is sedimentary rocks. Third one is metamorphic rocks. Now let's move on to the uses of rocks. Hard rocks are used for making roads, houses, factories, buildings, etc. Red sandstone and marble are used in making buildings. Many rocks are used as gemstones. Stones are used in many gems such as 7 stone, hopscotch and 5 stones. Rock cycle. Did you ever heard about the term rock cycle? Let's study. A cyclic manner is followed in transformation of one type of rock to another type under certain conditions. This process of transformation of the rock from one to another is called as rock cycle. Move on to the next topic of this lesson, that is minerals. Rocks are made up of different kinds of minerals. Minerals are naturally occurring substances. They have certain physical properties and have a definite chemical composition. Minerals have a lot of uses. They are used as fuels, for example coal, petroleum and natural gases. They are used in industries for making medicines, fertilizers and many other items. Iron, bauxite, mica, gold, silver, etc. are examples of minerals. Okay friends, let's conclude this chapter with the final topic of this lesson. They are lava and fossils. First one is lava. Let's study about lava. A fiery red molten magma coming out from the interior of the earth on its surface. This is known as lava. Lava is molten rock that spews from an erupting volcano. It is extremely hot, reaching temperature as high as 1300 to 2000 degrees Fahrenheit. In a volcanic eruption, lava is in liquid form. When it solidifies, it forms igneous rocks. However, it can take quite a long time to cool, traveling great distances before becoming solid. Molten rock is not always called lava. Before a volcano erupts and molten rock is still underground, it is called magma. Besides being a little cooler, molten rocks is not dramatically differ once it's above ground. The distinctions between magma and lava is basically made to make geological occurrences easier to understand and explain. So, let's conclude this chapter with the last topic of this lesson, that is fossil. A fossil is the naturally preserved remains or traces of animals or plants that lives in the geological past. There are two main types of fossils. They are body and trace. Body fossils include the remains of organisms that were once living, and trace fossils are the signs that organisms were present. Examples are footprints, tracks, trails and burrows. So my dear friends, let's wind up today's session. In today's class we have learned about the chapter Inside Our Earth. It is truly a beautiful chapter, very interesting and easy chapter. In this chapter we have learned about different topics like the interior of Earth, rocks and different types of rocks, then minerals and the uses of minerals, then lava, magma and fossils. It's a very interesting topic. I hope all of you like this chapter very well. So study well because exams are very soon. Meet you in next class with another interesting chapter for you. Till then, goodbye.